You know the sad thing about what's going on in this country, ne, guys, is tabaure boloi bo fofang all over the show ba itswe ke re like batho ba ko America, batho ba ko Australia ba itse. If you go and you listen to testimonies or people in different that are giving their 2 cents worth as to what's going on in Africa, in South Africa, one of the things they highlight, especially if Kemazalwane, is that hey, Africa who had not go intense wada. So jeka ha lefatshe kaofela le itse hore South Africa ya loya ha lefatshe kaofela le itse hore yo, if you live in South Africa you have to be a super hard knock spiritual warrior or how to buy right. If at all the whole world knows, guys, why is our government naive so as to anticipate that it is responsible for them to continue to allow the rampant going to and froming of witches? Why this thing is not outlawed. If something is a problem in a country to a point where the whole world knows about it, on that day you are in dire need of adjusting your policies just to highlight they don't outlaw witchcraft in the country, or at least certain facets of it. I'm a Christian, so because I am a religious human being, I cannot then pontificate or try and be a protagonist for a cause of humiliating or debilitating the religious rights of other people, because then that would be coming up against me. I would be infringing a constitutional right that I frankly cannot stand to lose myself. So I'm not here trying to get you witches to not even practice at all. Do you? If you want to go to hell, do you? Nice and sweetly into the flames of hell. Go to hell if you wanna, right? But there are certain practices that you don't get to practice, like liars go into the flames of hell. But liars here on earth, that's not a crime. Boyfriend 22 and 29. It's okay, whatever. You've lied to that guy, you've broken that guy's heart when he finds out that Mara, you're not gonna go to prison for it, right? There are certain indiscretions that mankind upon performing don't go and decimate entirely certain things that upon human beings doing that are also dislawed by God, outlawed by God, are also outlawed by mankind, like murder, like theft. Hey, and expect to be okay. And expect not to be fired from There are certain things that rules and regulations make sure that you either get fined or you go to prison upon doing. Witchcraft, therefore, ought to be looked at in a very similar way. Even though as Christians, until the millennial reign of Jesus Christ, there is no way under heaven that we're going to prosper to get our countries, our governments, etc., to outlaw all of the things that God has outlawed. The Lord says you shall not bear false witness. But when you lie to your boyfriend about being like 22 when you're 49, I mean, goodness gracious, can't nobody arrest you for that, even though Christ has a bone to pick with that activity. Fine. So certain things, because mankind has got a weak morality, they've got a weak morality, you can't outlaw them. However, there are certain things that the human race, absolutely in concert with each other, agrees needs to be outlawed, like khobulaya, like khuutswa. So jaka ha boloi bu utswa, so broad daylight ha botlhoko ga kana. Jaka ha boloi bu utswa bo bolaya. People do death curses, people do thieveries, like there's taking another person's promotion, sabotage. I bane o ka gona o utswa in your country and get away with it because your nation is the United States of America, where people walk into a store, take what they want and leave without there being any ramifications. If you live in a nation where anarchy is creeping up on you, then by all means, like I said, roll into the flames of hell like Swiss roll on sugar. But if you're a nation that still considers itself normally in any regard, that actually takes care of its citizens on the ground, and if at all somebody gets busted committing any kind of crime at all, then on that day you are irresponsible to allow to roam rampantly certain witchcraft practices. So we can't outlaw sorcery altogether. We can't outlaw the practice of lobungo mabenu altogether, because then you might as well take away Garabo's Christianity. We don't get to humiliate the constitutional right to religion of witches, but you don't get within that constitutional right to just haphazardly and rancidly go on right ahead. Sabotage entire wombs. The widow. I'm not even going to get into the whole Shauna Ferguson thing. The guy was a human sacrifice. But I'm not even going to... The man, Obulaileng Shauna, should be in prison. Mara, he's walking up and down Lemkatwin. And now the man is gone. I can't even speak them before the taboo. Do you understand? So as a Satanist, they ought to be like, you know how police officers sometimes so like, please don't mind me. They sometimes do cover job, especially with drug busts, where the cop in question, the dude in question that belongs to the drug like committee of the police station will rock up acting like in and of himself he's a little bit of a drug dealer, he's a narco in and of himself. And then once the deal is finalized, he's like, booyah, bam, you're under arrest for drug, whatnot, trafficking, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, witches need to have certain of their practices outlawed to a point where they would be undercover popo, literally rocking up at the premises of Isangoma on Saminankala, Utuyongi Bulalela, Uncle Yam. And upon this wish, then being like, okay, Minangfuna 1,500, Mfuna 25,000, Mfuna this, then the police officer being like, booyah, bam, you're under arrest for the attempted murder of my uncle. You practice these things. We told you, according to the constitution of the country, you have got a freedom of this particular religion of yours, but you don't get within it to murder. You don't get within it to steal. Basically, whatever is outlawed in this country physically ought to be outlawed spiritually too. Lazy. Mfuna always keep it like that. And if I don't go in the rapture, as in 2 days from today, if the Lord does not take us home, I am going to fight a prolific war to get certain portions of not ancestral worship, but that too. Because ancestors, I'm going to get a certain portion of Lobongoma to be outlawed to a point where if at all Umtagati can get busted, stealing a career. Look at what they've done to my life. This is freaking illegal. They have humiliated my constitutional rights spiritually, however, and so Angwaz Nongulwa in a criminal court. I can't even take it up civilly because they're going to be like, but like, where is the evidence? They are literally this anonymous spiritual freaking thing that is going on. Imosha imbilo, a whole thriving human being, musadi o pilang, o hemang, o ling a viable citizen of a country, akakwazi move left now right, ngoba ex-boyfriend busy mhlezi on a chest, ngoba ama best friends, ngoba ama family members, bamhlezi on a chest. They are committing crimes in broad daylight. Kodwa because akubonakali, they're getting away with it. Ke haba ka bastwa, hey, drug bust, hey, undercover cop, hey, rock up at a Sangoma's hut, hey, and arrest the damn randos. Like, that's what's good. Ntwena ituleleng ha ke tlhaloganya re bophelo ba ka wa bole so. Why motlakase o seyo ke sa gone go ya somewhere with this power? Why motlakase o seyo ke sa gone in a country eling irresponsible guy citizens on the ground and get for myself solar energy because I don't trust this country to give me power 24 hours a day? Why can I not do what I need to do at the freaking giant age of 38? Why? It's because abathakathi laba, they are running rampant loose. It is chaotic like Gakweni. It is the purge. The witchcraft literally enables people to practice the movie The Purge, where crime is legal, never mind one night a year, but all year long, 365, insofar as they can veil themselves, hide themselves behind a veil of anonymity, a smoke screen of angrizobonwa. Ke haba ka outlaw this thing, but hey, if the Lord returns, le protective from Karabo's wrath. Ngoba ngena and a hard knock if the rapture doesn't happen, which I hope happens first, because frankly, nkhathele.